Hi guys, my name is Mark. I'm just going to do a short video on the new Behringer wing case that I've brought from the company Santosom of Portugal, which did an exceedingly good job. So I've had several flight cases over the years, including for the X-32. And I must say this one is, the build quality of this one is absolutely spectacular. If you look at the details, it's very much in favor of the saying that Portuguese people actually work very, very well and are very, very cautious of detail. So as you can see, it's very, very well built, and there is absolutely no shady detail. One option of this case is to have a dedicated plate with a logo or whatever you want. So I am using this for PA for bands, but also for our own band, so I decided that I'd go with the standard Behringer wing case. So my need was for a case for the wing replacing one of the two X-32s we have in the band, and that case I didn't want one of these pop-up cases because they are too heavy. I needed something that I could handle myself and that was well built, so this is why I chose this one. As you can see, the case has both vertical and horizontal handles and very sturdy fasteners. On the underside, there are two rails that allow to put it on a table without damaging it, so that's quite handy. And second logo on the other side, and also two vertical carry handles, so very well built. The coasters are sturdy, high duty, and they work well on any kind of surface, well, rigid surface of course. Now, as you can see, I don't know how these are exactly called, but I call them the automatic latches, meaning when you open them, they recede automatically and they will not go and catch when you try and open the case. This is the front side of the mixer, and the whole bit here removes like this up to the bottom, and the coasters are on the cover, so they will come off as well. The good thing is this under closing when open is lower than the bar here, so if you open it and put that on the table, it won't scratch the table because it's open. As you see, there are two latches on the underside of the case as well. So what we have here is the open case. So as you can see, it's once again very well built. It's got a logo here and some accessories that I will talk about in a few seconds. On the front, on either side, there are these little trays that you can pull, in which you can either put a microphone or you can hang a headset if it's on the side of the table. There is a second one here, so quite handy. The doghouse is fully removable. It's got on either side these inlets to let the cable pass if you want to have the doghouse closed. And the closing or opening the doghouse, you do that with those two little tabs that you pull back, and this is really nice, very well built, nice little curtain there that folds back in. So as you see, you do have plenty of space to operate this. One nice feature is the LED bar, which is located here, that you can just pull up like this. So the height is up to you, and it also will rotate, so you can actually put it any way you want, and you control it. It actually plugs into the light socket, into the lamp socket here with this XLR plug. Okay. Another nifty little option this flight case has, on the doghouse you have these little slots here, and it's actually quite cunning, because if you go to the case, inside the case here, you have this these two parts, which are, so you have these parts that you can use like so. You can use a laptop on your board, so that's pretty nice. Or if you have an iPad, you can just slide your iPad in there like this. So here you see the build quality without the wing inside. So as I will tell you later on, this is where I'm going to put rocker switch, a headphone jack, another headphone jack on that side, and of course the doghouse is removable, so you can, if you need to take it out, you can do that, which is quite handy for me for my little custom job I'm going to do in a few minutes. Now for me, there is a couple of catches, because we use this board also in the rehearsal room, and in the rehearsal room this board is in a corner against the walls on both sides. So the problem is that to access the back, it's just a nightmare. That's an issue I need to solve. The two other issues are that I like to have the talkback microphone with a gooseneck, and unfortunately Behringer did not put an XLR plug on the face of the board, so you have to actually use one of the local inputs, which means that the gooseneck is not you cannot use it. So I'm going to do a little modification to put a plug on the doghouse, and I'll show you that in a moment. Same applies for both headsets plugs, which are under the top. So once the doghouse is in place, it's difficult to access. So there again, I'm going to put two stereo jack plugs on the side of the doghouse, so they can be accessed from the side. Illustration of the talkback mic. Actually, this is where I plug the talkback mic in the local entry number 1. And what I want to actually do is put a XLR somewhere here with a short cable and an XLR plug at the end, so that when I raise this like this, I can just plug it in like this and use it with the board without having to have a wired microphone, which is what I personally prefer. And this no trick plug is what I'm going to put in place here to be able to use that to my convenience. Now here's what I've done for the gooseneck talkback microphone. I've got this socket, which is now neatly here on the top of the doghouse, and underneath the cord, just a cord of an XLR that can reach from the first to the 8th local input, and a little bit of shrink wrap. I must say that's very difficult and it won't stay on there for very long, so I didn't even bother putting it on the headphone jack. So now you've got your talkback microphone that you can put wherever you want, and really easy to use. As you can probably see, this is where the headphone plug is. On the other side, headphone plug here as well. So that's not very practical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drill a hole in this bit here, and I'm going to put one of those. This is an Electric locking 6.35 millimeter stereo socket. So I'm going to put this the other side, which means that I'll have easy access from the side for my headphone plug. This is what I've done. I've put this socket here and just plug a jack in there. Easy also from the side, very easy. It's a locking one, and that goes obviously into the boards just underneath. This is the power switch, which obviously, if your board is against the wall, is very, very difficult to access. So what I have in mind here is I'm going to build a lead. I'm going to leave this one always on, and I'm going to build a lead that comes through here, and I am going to replicate the plugs, put an extra switch in here with a filter on the incoming mains plug. So the first part is done. That's my on-off switch that goes across into this little box, which I'll close shortly, which has the input plug, and then the live goes to the switch and goes back to the plug, which is here, whereas the neutral and ground go directly from the plug, from the entrance to the plug. Okay, so here's what we got for the power. So this is the new power inlet. The switched cord goes into the board's outlet, which remains on, and the little switch is here on the side of the board, which makes it really handy to operate on, off. So as you see, here's what it looks like in the cramped corner. So for me it's very good. I can actually access the switch on the side and the headphone jack, as well as the talkback microphone, which is there in our rehearsal place. So that's my mods to this really good case. So I hope you like this little video of this very well built flight case for the Behringer wing. Maybe Santosom will pick up on these few mods I've made. Could be handy. Then again, you know, not everybody has to have the board in a corner, but that's my situation. And don't forget, check them out. Enjoy, guys. Thank you for watching.